The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Several top DC candidates reportedly had no interest in interviewing for the Jets DC job. Is that a big deal? Where do the Jets go from here? We'll talk about that and much more. Dylan Tereman joins us. It's going to be wild. Let's hit it and get it started.
I let the organization down, and I let the players down, and that burns me. It really does. This season's on me, and we're going to work our ass off to get this shit exactly where it needs to be.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Hit the like button. Make sure you are a subscriber to the channel. Reminder, next week, we're live from Mobile. We'll be live at the Senior Bowl Monday through Friday. Big name interviews, big name guests, live coverage from where the NFL offseason really gets underway. And the guy who will be joining me throughout the week on the show is today's guest at his weekly Thursday spot. Dylan Tereman joins us now. DT, you're a Senior Bowl veteran, so I'm excited to lean on you and Dom C next week. We got a lot to talk about today, and we got a lot to watch in person next week. What's going on, man?
Absolutely. I'm excited. As you can see, the lanyards are on the wall. The pelts are on the wall. I'm a fifth-year grizzled vet going down to Mobile. Had a little bit of a scare, if we're being completely transparent, that I might not be able to make it work, but as always, we make it work over here, and always happy to join you. Going to be really exciting next week. You, me, and Dom in person, hopefully talking to some really high-end prospects that could end up being on the Jets, and that would just make for some fantastic content. So really excited for next week, man. It's really where it starts. The Rodgers rumors started. The Rex Hogan article dropped the day we got there. Like, so much stuff happens that first day in Mobile because everybody's there for the first time, and it's going to be fun.
I'm excited, man. And certainly with the Jets having pick 2 and pick 16, there's just added intrigue to this draft. We will talk some draft during our show. Let me shout out Derek, the Jet fan. I see he already has gifted a membership. I didn't even say what we're playing for today. We're going to play for a Jets jersey at the end of the show. Raffle one away. Pick the legendary Jet you wanted in Namath, Klecko, Martin, Krebet, Revis, Mangold, or Keyshawn Johnson. Derek is the first to gift. He's in our raffle at the end of this stream for one. Thank you very much, Derek. When you enter, you are, of course, are entered in the weekly raffle series, which features a signed Curtis Martin helmet and a signed Broadway Joe Namath helmet. On that note, let's start with the latest on the DC search. So yesterday, Connor Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt on their podcast with SNY dropped these nuggets on some candidates who apparently said thanks, but no thanks to even interviewing for the Jets DC job.
Ultimately an appealing job, and so that's why the list came out, and it was a lot of
I do have one thing to add to that. Yeah. Can I interrupt you real quick for 1 second? Can you hold your hit pause? So I did say this. I was actually talking to NYJ Max, one of that same coaching agent that I was talking to, incredibly plugged in. Like, he's been a very, very helpful resource to me, this dealing with the Giants search that they've had and several other things. He wouldn't give me the names, and then I confirmed it with another coach who also, he's like, I don't want to embarrass like the Jets to like say it, but they did reach out to what I heard 2 of the big name defensive coordinating candidates who were available, and both candidates just weren't interested in working for the Jets and Aaron Glenn at this time, which I understand. Like, it's a team that's not going to be very good next year. If you're a major name defensive coordinator, you're going to have like major suitors, so they just weren't interested in talking to the Jets. That's not entirely uncommon. People got super angry about the Jets not putting in requests to interview Ben Johnson last year. Ben Johnson let it be known to the Jets, like, if you send an interview request, I'm not going to take it. Like, I'm not going to interview with you. So a lot of times these, like, major candidates who are going to have a slew of interviews and definitely know they're going to get a job, like those major defensive coordinating candidates, they're going to be picky with their jobs, and the Jets just weren't necessarily an opportunity they wanted to take. So this wasn't like Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji were intentionally ignoring the top candidates out there are only trying to go for these like smaller guys aside from Wink and Jim. It's just some of the people that they reached out to just weren't necessarily interested in the opening.
I've heard that broadly. That
real quick, Connor Hughes trying to sneak in Wink and Jim. No. Jim Leonard's a top candidate. The Jets are the only team that is interviewing Wink Martindale. I see what you're doing there, Connor. Nice try, but here's the rest of Rosenblatt's answer.
Coach, there have been beyond even just the two that you mentioned, I think there's been more than that were like, no, thank you. I don't really want to take that interview.
I just heard it. Unfortunately, I heard two specifically sets, but I didn't hear any. Maybe it was more.
Again, you got to love it, right? I mean,
Hughes doesn't let Zach talk, man. He's got to let Zach finish his thoughts sometimes, but yeah, the premise of it is not a good look, man.
I don't think we should be surprised though, right? I think people are going to like expect me to be like, oh, you see, like this is why they should have fired Glenn. But like everyone knows that the job is not that attractive. That was part of the reason to make a coaching change, because I don't think anyone of substance actually wants this job. Now, if they convince Jim Leonard to take the gig, I'll give Aaron Glenn a tremendous amount of credit, because I just don't think he would take this job if he has other options. In fact, he might prefer to stay in Denver for another year rather than jump into the Jets DC job. I think there's a chance he might get the Giants defensive coordinator job as well. There's other teams, I believe, that have spoken to Leonard. So I don't think it's that surprising, because again, the head coach is on the hot seat. The defense, while it has some players on it, it's not as talented as it was. You know, you're not guaranteed to be able to get all these premium picks to be used towards the defense. Some of them will, but not all of them. I don't think we should be surprised that, you know, Jim Schwartz, if it's him, or Raheem Morris, if it's him, or Brian Flores, if it's him, right? Hughes referenced big names. Rosenblatt said it was even more than the two that Hughes heard. So, just by process of elimination, we probably named several of the guys that they wanted to speak to that turned them down. I'm not surprised, Dylan. This is not a very attractive job. That's why, one of the quote unquote big names is Wink Martindale, just because people have heard of him, but he's not very good. And no one else is interviewing him. Like, the only legit guy that was getting interviews by a bunch of teams was Leonard. And you can make a case. Durante Jones got a couple interviews as well. The guy who was the understudy to Flores in Minnesota.
Yeah. So just looking at the landscape of everything, and I talked to, I believe it was Jet Central, Ian and Tyson on their live show about it. I was like, the Jets are just going to have to get a leftover at some point. Like, we just have to understand that a 3-win team is not going to be an attractive spot for a new coach. Obviously, it would be a little bit more attractive if it was a brand new coach, right? But the fact that it's not a new coach, it's a bad season that we're coming out of, it's not going to be an attractive spot already. Then you talk about the, what is it now, 6 head coaching openings that are available to some of these defensive coordinator candidates, right? Brian Flores, like, if he doesn't get a job, he's already re-upped in Minnesota, but some of these DC candidates are getting head coaching looks, and they're going to fill those vacancies first. And then you're going to have to sort the stack again and say, okay, well, what teams need a defensive coordinator? Right now, according to my chart, and I know I'm not completely updated with it, the Niners, I believe they need one because Salo left. The Packers need one because Hafley left. The Commanders fired Joe Witt. We obviously don't have one. And the New York Giants, because we don't know what Harbaugh has done yet. There are still going to be others, but that's already 5 names. And the Jets are probably the least attractive of the Niners, Packers, Commanders, Giants, Jets. So yeah, it's going to be one of the leftovers. Now, could Durante Jones be the leftover? Maybe, because perhaps, Dallas just hired Christian Parker from Philadelphia. So that was a name that somebody else was looking at. So maybe we get a Durante Jones. Maybe, Harbaugh doesn't go with a Jim Leonard, or, one of these other teams like that. The Packers one is like, okay, maybe Jim Leonard could go there, but I feel like it's more fan made up about Jim Leonard going to the Packers. Maybe the Jets actually do luck into a Jim Leonard. And that's not necessarily to say that like we had to like really, pull like him into the organization, but it's probably going to take more dollars if we're being honest. Like, Woody's going to have to be aggressive in this pocket of the offseason, where Connor Hughes a couple weeks ago talked about being aggressive this offseason. This is being aggressive, offering Jim Leonard more money than anybody else can to be the DC because you believe in him and you also think he's going to help your franchise. So maybe we do somewhat luck into Jim Leonard, but I actually think there's a valid path for him. But I also like Ephraim Bonda because he comes from the Jim Schwartz tree. And I don't think Durante Jones is like a bad leftover because the Cowboys and the Packers and other teams hire somewhere else. So those are the 3 that I like: Bonda, Jones, and Jim Leonard in that reverse order. So those would be the 3 guys, and maybe they still get one of them.
Does it concern you that this feels like an incredibly important hire for a defensive-minded coach, and we're in year 2?
It's important because of one of two things, right? It's important because does he want somebody to be the DC that allows Glenn to oversee everything still, like a Wilkes, but not necessarily Wilkes 2.0, which I think Martindale could end up being. But it's also important because if he does just have to go with a Jim O'Neill, or I know Matt Rujo got hired elsewhere, but like a DeMarcus Covington, right? That just means Glenn's probably going to have to take more on as the defensive play caller. And maybe that's not a bad thing, but I would rather him hire somebody that he believes can be the DC and call their own plays and do the job, and then allow him to oversee everything else. So you could spin it a positive or negative way. I just happen to lean, get a guy who you believe is going to be a good defensive play caller, but you still are allowed to, hold a play sheet, override some things here and there if you don't like a call. I would not like it if it took Aaron Glenn away from the rest of the team to have to focus solely on being the defensive play caller.
I mean, look, they interviewed Chris Harris, according to Albert Breer. Mm-hmm. He's a star in the coaching ranks. So why would you let a star in the coaching ranks not be your DC?
Well, he's probably going to be retained most likely based on that Rosenblatt tweet we saw a couple of days ago, where they're going to let the DC go through the staff and pick and choose who he wants. They're also taking a lot of interviews of guys with defensive backgrounds. And I said this last night to Connor Long, and maybe you'll agree with him more. I just feel like it's such an easy way to get one of your in-person Rooney Rule hires satiated. And I'm not a fan of doing it that way, but it was just such an easy way to have one half of your 2 interviews done with an in-house candidate, because they only did virtual rounds the first round. So maybe they do bring in another guy. Like, they're probably going to have to bring in Wink Martindale. They're going to hopefully bring in Jim Leonard for a second, maybe Durante Jones. And I don't know if Ephraim Bond is a minority candidate, but like, they still need to satiate the rule. So I think that was more of what it was. And I don't know if he has a legitimate shot, but it is still concerning if they do deem him as a finalist for this job.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give some love to Kaz? Super chats like this keep the lights on in my apartment, Dylan. And also fun trips to Mobile, Alabama next week. Kaz, you're the man. You're in our raffle for 10. Give him a jet chant, Lowski. A $50 super chat. Let's go. Give him a hug too, Woody.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
And Fireman Ed, I need a jet chant. Kaz writes in, at this point, Glenn should just put names in a hat and make Woody pick a DC. LOL. All right. We have 7 names in a hat because one of the candidates went out there and took a job coaching Jacksonville's defense as an assistant. So he was probably not going to get the job anyway. Should I put these names in like a random name generator, the Wheel of Champions, and just see who would our DC be just based on this?
Yeah, 100%. You totally could do it, and you'd probably have a better shot at getting it right, or just as good of a shot as getting it right as the people in charge right now. So,
all right. Well, I'll tell you what, Dylan, I will do that for you. All right. I'll put the names together in the Wheel of Champions, and we'll see if Woody were to just do exactly what we're doing, right? Put names in a hat, essentially. Who would actually get the gig? Does that work for you?
Sure. But I also, Jim O'Neill, he's probably your least favorite of the 7. Maybe Wink is down there too, right? If I had to just guess your personal rankings, you wouldn't have Jim O'Neill very high.
Probably not. It kind of feels like he knows Glenn and vice versa. So
yeah. I'm nervous about him the most, and I know he's had DC experience, albeit very bad DC experience. I'm just very confused as to why, like, AG would think a guy like him would be the one to come in and do the job, unless AG's truly just making a hire to say, I just want to be the guy, and I'm going to call the plays myself, and I'm going to put it all on my shoulders, because if I'm going to go down with my ship, then, past the Ludes, the captain doesn't leave the bay, and you just stay there and you go down with your ship. And maybe that's the right call for a guy like AG at this point. But if AG doesn't feel like internally he's on the hot seat from Woody Johnson, which I hope he is, right? I think we all hope he feels like he's on some sort of hot seat.
Thinking is overrated.
Yeah, of course. Trying to tap into that brain is like an impossible task. So if AG does not feel like he's on the hot seat, he can afford to get a guy that's going to call the defense, and AG can do the CEO stuff or whatever it is, get his 805 hug and walk around the building. But
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
I got to keep triggering your sound bites.
You make this too easy.
I know, but I feel like if AG feels like he's not on the hot seat, he can go out and wait for a Jim Leonard to maybe become available from the Denver Broncos. Like, what if they go all the way to win the Super Bowl and the Jets still don't hire a DC? They're probably looking to try to get Jim Leonard as best they can, and they're probably going to be able to still get an Ephraim Banda, Jim O'Neill, probably not a Durante Jones if they wait 2 or 3 more weeks. But it all depends on what the internal view is, and of course you can't tap into it. But if you could be a fly on the wall in any of those meetings, I would love to hear what they had to say about this team.
Dylan, are you ready to spin the wheel of champions like what Woody Johnson might end up doing to pick a defensive coordinator?
I'm absolutely ready. I hope my name's in here. Could I be the DC?
You cannot be the DC.
Robbie Sabo. I'd put Robbie Sabo's name for DC, though.
Here we go. 7 names to determine the defensive coordinator. Woody's just going to pick names out of a hat like our super chatter Kaz suggested Woody does. Ladies and gentlemen, the next DC of the Jets will be...
It's going to land on Chris Harris.
He's a rising star, according to Albert Breer. Oh, please.
Hey!
Yeah! Whoa! Jim Leonard, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Hit it, Aaron Glenn.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Whoa. Whoa. Take it easy, man. For those who missed the first show, Aaron Glenn was spotted by a Jet fan on a United flight. This is a recent photo. Who want to fly United economy, right? So we got some context since my first show ended today from the guy who sent the tweet out. So at Vince Paz 1230 on January 18th tweeted, "I simply can't escape Aaron Glenn." Then it went viral today after we talked about it on the show. So Vince followed up this morning to that tweet, or this afternoon to that tweet. You can see it at the bottom there, and goes, "FYI, for anyone asking, this was a couple days ago, flying back from Cabo, Mexico." So Dylan, I ask you, do you think the Jets DC candidate list is underwhelming because the head coach was on vacation in Cabo?
I 100% do not. I don't know why he was in Cabo, but if the search for DC needed to go international, then you know what? I'm okay with it as long as you bring back the right candidate. Maybe we can get like a soccer defensive coach, right? And maybe he can lead this team. They don't need takeaways with their hands, but maybe they can slide tackle like the 49ers kicker on Rashid Shaheed. Maybe we'll get a lot of that on defense this year. No, this is weird. I mean, I get it. You're on vacation. Seems like a bad time to be on vacation if you ask me while you're in the middle of a coaching search. But hey, to each his own. And he's always rocking the jumpsuit with the white shoes. I actually like that.
We call it the Maduro where I'm from.
Okay.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Glenn, not the biggest fan of mine, obviously.
Even AI, Aaron Glenn. I mean, you guys will make up one day, I promise. Maybe we'll see him in Mobile and you'll get to wave to him. And you'll get to ask him what he does. You'll get to ask him what he does well. And
what do you do well as a head coach, Aaron?
The first question. Hi, I'm Jake Asman. What do you do well?
I met him at the Combine last year, briefly. I shook his hand, said hello. Muji was way friendlier when I briefly spoke with him, for what it's worth.
Well, we could hide in Darren Muji's shadow, to be honest. That guy's a freaking giant.
He is so tall. It is insane.
Like if you put Connor Rogers on Will Parkinson's shoulders, you have Darren Muji.
Unreal. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ricky says, just because they are big names doesn't mean we actually would want them. Flores resigned where he was. Lovie Smith's a name. I wouldn't hire him. Wink Martindale's a name. I wouldn't hire him. This is another media hit piece. I don't think it's a hit piece. I mean, they verbally said it on their podcast, Ricky. I think this is a legitimate report. Like, I don't think Connor and Zach are making this up. I think they probably got it on good authority from coaching agents. Like, yeah, they had guys that weren't interested in the job. It's not an appealing job. That doesn't mean they can't find a qualified candidate. And again, we have a defensive head coach. So if Aaron Glenn can't find the right coach to fix his defense, again, what does he actually do well as a head coach? It all goes back to that.
Yeah, I'm not with the big name hire either, but you're getting a lot of uninspiring names. But to Zach and Rosenblatt's point, yes, did they ask guys like Jonathan Gannon, Brian Flores, like the top of the top names that they knew were probably reaches anyway? But yeah, it's never, I mean, we never want to hear this as a fan base, like that the team is being, their noses are being turned up at the sound of the Jets. Like we never, first it was the prospects and we didn't obviously like that. Now it's the coaching staff that doesn't want to come here. So yeah, this is to be expected when you are this bad, but it still sucks to have it be the reality of where we're at.
Again, no one knew who Chris Banjo was when he was hired. So
right.
You got to hope that they could find someone qualified like that is maybe the next guy that we don't know.
They got the picture of Engstrand wrong so many times when he was hired. They had a different Lions staffer as like the picture for Tanner Engstrand when the Jets hired him. I'm like, that's not him. And you can still Google it and that post will come up with the wrong picture. And I'm like, so nobody knows who these guys are until they become something. So like maybe to Albert Breer's a little bit of his point, Chris Harris before this past year with the Jets, when he was hired and interviewed as DC in 2025, was considered a rising star. But how much did he hurt himself by, being part of the Jets' entirely bad historic season last year?
Great comment here from Madison. Did AG ask a flight attendant to put the seatbelt on for him? Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride.
I wish I had that shirt on. I wish I had that shirt on just like because I didn't know. I've never seen the picture of AG on the plane, so that would have been so perfect. Addy also asked what he does well as a passenger. I was trying to say he puts on his neighbor's life preserver, but only after he puts his on first. I think that's the funniest rule on the plane. Like if I'm sitting next to a kid, I'm helping the kid first.
Some of the comments are so funny.
I can only imagine where Twitter has gone. Well, because there was the fake tweet today by Richard Johnson, and I'm sorry if you guys get got by Dick in the Big 2026. He said AG was stepping down because the DC search was too exhausting on him. I'm like, he's in Cabo. He ain't worried about no DC. He's in Cabo. He's fine.
Who wanna fly with them effing Jets, baby? You think he said that or on this flight?
Do you think he clapped when they landed? I think the answer to is yes to both.
I love this. This photo is just great. Imagine running to Aaron Glenn on an airplane.
Dude, I mean, maybe you'll see it on Monday because I forget exactly where you're flying in. But when I fly into Pensacola, Mobile Week, man, that's where I ran into Phil Savage. I saw a bunch of people. I ran into Andy Davis, the Southeastern scout, on my way out of Mobile last year or 2 years ago the year we signed or drafted Jordan Travis. And we literally talked about Jordan Travis in the airport. So like, you never know who you're going to see at the airport. I thought this was him going to Mobile like a little early, but no, he's coming back from Cabo, kicking his feet up.
Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Barr had the best line I saw. At least we know the plane won't be intercepted.
Gee. Oh yeah. Sometimes we don't laugh, we laugh at ourselves. Yeah. We gotta laugh at ourselves. We do this to ourselves, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're the only team that can hire a former Pro Bowl corner who had over 40 career interceptions, and then in his first year, break a record that will never be broken, a full season without one single interception.
I hate to go down a tangent, but D'Angelo Pons today at his Raging Canes event was Raising Canes, whatever it's called. He was asked about
no, whatever it's called. How dare you disrespect
I don't
Raising Canes?
Stuff. I don't eat that stuff. I'm sorry. I apologize. But he was comped to AG, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he was a great player." He's like, "I didn't watch him, but I watched these guys instead." And I was like, "Damn, being comped to AG when you just saw what his coaching abilities were last year, like that's got to be tough."
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Unbelievable. Fire Aaron Glenn is in the house. He writes in, Fire Aaron Glenn. Well, thank you for the super chat. What do we got here? We got Mace B with a super chat. He says, is there a scenario the Jets don't draft anyone first round and keep them for next year? Would this be moronic or reasonable? What's best for AG to get a third year? When you say don't draft anyone in the first round, you mean like
trade out?
Like trade back and not have a first round pick? I don't see that happening. I think they're going to look to add premium talent early because you have the second pick and pick 16. I think in an ideal world, maybe they could move back maybe some spots and get extra picks, but I don't think they're going to make enough trades where they're completely not picking in round one this year.
No, yeah, I don't know how you can madden that anyway, and you end up having 8 2027 first round picks or something, then really Arch Manning cannot go anywhere. Let's be honest. But
neither can Dante Moore.
Yeah, no quarterback is safe from the Jets when you have 8 first. Just take 3 of them. Who cares? And you still have 5 other picks in the first round. So I would lean a little bit more moronic, especially if you're saying what's best for AG to get the 3rd year. What AG needs to get a 3rd year is to add talent, infuse talent, offense, defense, draft, free agents, trades. Like Buffalo Jet fan put it the best, and it's kind of the opposite of what you were just saying about trading back. He said, would you rather have 2 guys or 1 guy that you love at 2 and 3 guys that you like at 16, 33, and 44? Or would you rather package 44 and 16, come up into the top 12 again, and have 2 players you love and 1 player you like at 33? I'm taking the 2 that I love and the 1 that I like over the 1 that I love and the 3 that I like, because you're getting 1 less player, but it's only somebody you like. It's not somebody you love. So if they have conviction, I would do the opposite and trade back into the top 8, 10, 12 and try to take another who they deem as a blue chipper. ESPN has 10 first-round grades on guys now that Dante Moore went back. That's bad. That is a bad class. It's a very strange draft year. And if you can get 2 of those 10 guys and they're on your board as first-round blue chip, immediate turnaround players, yeah, you would do that.
A little breaking news, DT. You ready?
I'm ready.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Kind of Jet related. Jonathan Jones reporting the Falcons have requested permission to interview former Jets GM Joe Douglas for their vacant GM position. Douglas has been a senior personnel director with the Eagles since rejoining the organization last year. Bob Saleh got a new gig. Can Joe Douglas get another GM gig?
Dude, GMs don't normally get a turnaround like this that quickly. I don't think he'll get the job ultimately, but it is kind of crazy. I remember when they got fired, and at the time I was with Jet Nation, me and Glenn went back and forth. I said, I can very easily see Saleh getting a head coaching gig before Joe Douglas gets a GM gig. He felt the opposite. I actually hope it's not true, just because I want to be right in that instance, but it's bad that they're even giving looks to this guy. I'll be honest.
Joe Douglas had 6 years. He should not get a second GM.
They don't have a first-round pick in Atlanta. Like, he's screwed.
They should rehire Thomas Dimitroff if they're going to give Joe Douglas the GM job.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Joe Douglas had 6 years. He took Zach Wilson. Enough said. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is not one of Matt Ryan's finest moments.
No, even him getting an interview was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Let's see. Tom, thank you. Tom Roseman is in the raffle for 1. Again, for those tuning in late, let's give away a Jets jersey. Pick the player you want. Keyshawn, Mangold, Revis, Corbett, Martin, Klecko, or Broadway Joe, name it. Dan says the plane had more touchdowns than the team most games.
Yeah, that's fair. If that plane gets a lot of action, it's definitely touching down way more than the Jets.
Jordan says, why is the wide receiver coach not fired? Can't handle rookies or vets. Don't know how this guy has stuck around the past 2 regimes. Sean Jefferson is the current wide receivers coach. He's highly regarded for what it's worth.
Yeah.
There's no word if he's definitely going to be back or not, though.
No, but in that same video of Hughes and Rosenblatt, he did mention the 3 names that they feel are like the safest. And it was Sean Jefferson, Steve Hyden, which makes sense, and Jeff Blasco, the tight end coach. So the offensive continuity is coming. He didn't say 1 name is safe, and that's Charles London. So until they say he's safe, I'm going to operate as if he's going to be the first guy out on the offensive side of the ball, and hopefully he is. So, yeah, it looks like Sean Jefferson is going to be back. And, I mean, dude, Steve Hyden, he's the Charles London when it works out. Like, I keep calling him the Charles London of Dante Scarnecchia's. Like, he was not an offensive line coach. He was a tight ends coach. So, like, we went
he
so
coached
bad.
Offensive line.
Yeah, it was assistant offensive line in Arizona, and they were pretty ass. Like, honestly, Charles London's resume as a quarterback's coach is lengthier than Hyden's resume as an offensive line coach, and the performance of those quarterbacks was better than the performance of the offensive line. But they just got the 1 hire completely wrong and 1 hire very much so right.
Charles London, baby. This is the guy, man. This is who Aaron Glenn trusted to coach up Justin Fields.
I mean, in a sense, okay, so in one way, yes. awful because they wanted to coach the kid up to be a quarterback and do the things he's never done as a passer. On the positive spin, if it actually worked and Justin Fields didn't suffer soft tissue injuries or be scared of soft tissue injuries, having a running backs coach to be a running back at quarterback, which they wanted to do, might not have been the worst idea. But you married two philosophies together that just were never go. It's like mixing oil and water. Having Justin Fields and Tanner Engstrand, it's oil and water.
How about this comment from Johns? Here goes. Can you possibly regurgitate something other than comment, super chat, blah, blah, cut the line, be original and less desperate for money? Hey, Johns, how about this? Give me your money, bitches. That good enough for you, Johns? Huh? Comments, questions. Give me some money, bitches. Does that work? Johns?
Just be more direct about it, Jake. Just money in the palm. That's what we need.
Cha-ching.
That's crazy.
People are so stupid. Terry,
all the things to be mad at.
Right. It's go find 4 hours of Jets content somewhere else. This is free, by the way, just so you know, Johns. Terry, he paid $5. Is that okay with you, Johns? Jake/Dylan, it might be a blessing with Flores going back to the Vikings. He will be available next offseason. Thoughts? If we're hiring another coach next year, unless it's Tomlin, I need someone who has an offensive background personally, because we're going to probably have a top pick and take the quarterback. That's kind of where I'm at and where the NFL, I think, is going. So the next coach has to be an offensive guy, preferably someone with experience, unless you're telling me it's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, 100%. And it seems less likely that Tomlin's going to come out. But on the off chance, he would be the only one not from an offensive background. Just give me the young brain wizard, right? Like whoever it is, like let him be 35 years old. I don't care. Sean McVay is the second longest tenured head coach, and he's like 46 years old. Like
McVay, he's not even that old.
No, he's not even 46. He might be 42. You're right.
Sean McVay is not even in his 40s. He's 39.
No, there's no way he's still 39.
Sean McVay is 39 years old. He just turned 39 in January.
39?
Actually, no. He turns 40 in 2 days.
Okay, well, happy early birthday. He is the second longest tenured head coach. Him and Kyle Shanahan were 2017.
What about Andy Reid?
2013. He's the number one.
Okay.
Yeah, because now Harbaugh and Tomlin are out. So, like, every other coach out of the top five, Reid, Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, Taylor, all hired 2021 or later. Like, that's crazy turnaround. So, yeah, if we're going through a whole new search, give me the young offensive-minded guy. Give me Mike LaFleur.
Mike LaFleur, legend. Ryan the General says, SJ wanted out with regime change, got rechained. Knew Fields wasn't going to cut it. None of this was SJ's fault. Guy is legit. SJ being Sean Jefferson? Is that who that is?
Yeah. I mean, how do you know that?
How do you know he wanted out?
I was going to say the first part of it. I'm like, I'm already fishy. How do you know that he wanted out and then got retained? So now you're saying Sean Jefferson is a hostage at One Jets Drive. New Fields wasn't going to cut. Like, I don't know, man. This is a lot of assumptions. I agree with you. I liked Sean Jefferson when he was here the first time, and I liked when they brought him or retained him rather. But I don't know. There's some things about the wide receiver room, although it's devoid of talent, that I just don't really love. And like some of the comments about Aaron Rodgers, about Garrett Wilson, through the grapevine, subtweeting him or whatever. It feels like there's a little bit of like detail missing in the wide receiver room. Maybe they get it back with some more talent, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love with Sean Jefferson like I was.
Yeah, look, if they got rid of him, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. That's for sure.
No.
Jordan says, highly regarded, ? Smith, Corley, Pickens, Reynolds. I get the quarterback situation, but they look completely different away from him.
Sean Jefferson was highly regarded. I mean, Corley has done pretty much
nothing.
Reynolds has been hurt under him. Pickens, is that where he came from? He came from Pittsburgh before Pickens got traded.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up, Sean.
But he was with the Jets. He was with the Jets.
I don't know what the Pickens connection is. His coaching career.
He was with the Jets, left, and then came back with the Jets, but that now has been held over.
He was in Carolina. He was in 2023. He was in Carolina. He joined the Jets in 2024, and Glenn retained him on this year's staff.
That's okay. So Carolina, that doesn't make sense with Pickens. I don't know. I'm confused by this one, Jordan.
Jordan, I think you confused receivers here, but anyway, we appreciate you. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel, subscribe to DT's channel as well. We're presented by FanDuel. Dylan, here are the latest odds to win the Super Bowl. Place your bet right now. Seattle, the favorite, plus 155. Rams, plus 200. New England, plus 250. And Denver with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, plus 1,100.
So, rooting interest, I am going Seahawks. I'm actually, obviously, you flip Broncos and Patriots, but I would be in that order. I want the NFC to win, Seahawks or Rams. Then I would root for the Broncos. Then I would root for the Patriots. But in terms of betting, unfortunately, the sweet spot is the New England Patriots to me at plus 250. I would only lay money on the Rams or the Patriots at this point. I mean, I guess you could sprinkle on the Seahawks, but I'm not taking the long shot of the Broncos, even though I think they could upset. But yeah, if you wanted to lay your money, I feel like it would be the New England Patriots at plus 250, right?
100%. It'd be tough to argue that logic. Now, obviously, I hate the Patriots and hope Denver knocks them off. I do like the Rams at plus 200 because I could see the Rams winning Sunday. The problem is that New England's the best bet here because they're likely to get to the Super Bowl, and that's half the battle when the Rams and Seahawks, there's no guarantee that the not long shot, but the bet you make on either one, if they're definitely going to be there. Because I could see either Seattle or LA winning. And not that I think Denver doesn't have a chance. More likely than not, New England's going to win Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. I like I said, I'm rooting for the team in the NFC mostly. My boss is a Seahawks fan, so I'm sure work will be a lot more. I mean, it's already enjoyable, but I'm sure work will be more enjoyable if the Seahawks win. So I will be pulling for Sam in Seattle. I know some Jets fans don't want to see Sam win. I don't care that they'll do the LOL Jets about Sam. Like, I'm so over it. Like, laugh at Kyle Shanahan, laugh at Kevin O'Connell for letting this guy out of the building too. Like, only the Jets get crap for Sam Darnold. So I would actually like to just see him win it.
Let's get to some calls, shall we? First up today is Frank. Hello, Frank.
What's up, guys? Jake, I don't know if you saw it. Richie did an interview with BT, and BT said, talking about the culture that Aaron Glenn is building in New York, and that retaining him was a good idea. He said, he mentioned the penalties. I said, it was like, who cares about penalties? Jacksonville, highly penalized team. I was like six of the top 10 penalized teams in football made the playoffs. Like, yeah, it's great to limit penalties, but this idea about the culture, it's got to start with penalties and discipline. No, you have to have talent. You have to have some type of schematical, tactical advantage over the other coach. So I hope Dylan, if you when you do go down to Mobile, if you happen to run into Aaron Glenn, ask him Jake Asman's question. Ask him, what do you do well as a head coach? What do you do well as a head coach?
I assure you, if I see Aaron Glenn, that will not be the question that comes out of my mouth, but I'm sure Jake would ask it. I know. I guess I would say I don't have the balls to ask that question, but I would rather talk to AG about like what he thinks about the prospects.
What week you're resigning?
How much do you love Ruben Bain right now?
Listen, I love Ruben Bain. I think especially considering that they have 10 or 11 first round grades on the players. Listen, I think unless you get some team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who obviously need edge rusher help, that want to come up and they want to come up and they want to take Ruben Bain, or they see an edge rusher that they like. I don't think Tampa being, I think they're at like 14, like somewhere between 14 and 17. I don't think that they'll pay that price to get up there for somebody like Ruben Bain. But if a team came calling saying that, thinking they wanted Ruben Bain, I would trade out of two. I mean, listen, there's no wrong answer in wanting to trade back and acquire more assets. What you do with the assets is what's critical. But listen, I like Ruben Bain. I wish that not Dante Moore, but I wish that the Jets had just landed the number 1 overall pick to get Fernando Mendoza. But it is what it is. But another great show. Jake, keep up the great work. Good luck. Have fun in Mobile.
Frank, you got it. If I run into Aaron Glenn, I'll ask him the question for you.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
That might be his response back, but
that would exactly be his response back.
The question's got to be asked. Let's see. This one is from Dana, who's a Glenn bootlicker. Anyone bringing up playoff team or high in penalties this year, so it doesn't matter. Stat immediately loses ball, no or card. I disagree. I think when you're being asked what you improved this year, when you're the head coach, what the positives are, and one of the 4 things you mentioned besides 0 field goals being blocked is that the penalties were cleaned up, and you only went from 31 to 23. It wasn't even cleaned up that much. it is worth noting that while you don't want to commit a lot of penalties, some of the teams that committed a ton of penalties, they all made the playoffs anyway. So it's not the end all be all is the point. You know what really matters? Not having the 32nd ranked passing attack in the modern NFL. You're going to win 3 games or less if you do that again next year.
Especially considering they held that 32nd rank from week 6 on and they never gave it back. Like it's bad. So yeah, like in one aspect, yes, you can talk about penalties improving as a positive. Certain penalties, though, like procedural penalties. If you want to say there's less false starts, there's
how
less
about the too many men on the field they had on
no,
offense?
see, yeah, I was literally about to get there. I'm like, when you have a TV timeout and then you have 12 men on the field on offense, get out of here, man. Like those are the stupidest penalties you could ever have. So if you just want to look at the raw number of penalties and say it improved, that's not really going to hold a lot of weight. But yes, if you want to say illegal formation, illegal shift, procedural penalties, not doing stupid shit after a TV timeout, those would be actual improvements from a penalty standpoint, because there is too much data that says you don't have to be a low penalized team to win in this league. You could be a high penalized team. The Bears had the worst yardage differential entering the playoffs. They were like minus 300 yards in penalties. Like that's not a good stat, but they were 12-5 or 11-6, whatever they were, and they had a really good playoff run. So like the context of the penalty certainly matters.
I think it's well said. Let's get some more calls. Steve is up next. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jake. Hey, Dylan. How's it going? All good?
Sir.
Good. I just got back from Chicago and I had to share this story. Touchdown in O'Hare, got out, and was shocked to see how many Chicago Bears fans and jerseys I saw, proudly wearing their jerseys, to the point where I was in the city and I had to tap one of them on the shoulder. And I was like, you know, they lost last week, right? And his response was, yeah, but it was a magical experience. And it made me really think, I haven't had that feeling ever as a Jets fan. 35 years of age now. Of course, I remember 09 and 10. But, you know, as you get older, you appreciate it much more as a sports fan. And I'm hoping that there's a day that we can also call a run a magical run. More or less wanted to share that, but I actually wanted to go back to Dylan's point. I agree with you. We should trade back up into the top 12. Mm-hmm. And the reason is we can't lead this draft without a receiver. But I don't think it makes sense to take a receiver at 2. I think it's got to be Bain or it's got to be the kid from Tech. I think they're just too good of blue chip talents at a position that we really need. But I don't think we're going to be able to get a receiver at 16, at least the one that we want. It just seems like it's easier to bring in a receiver than it is somewhere else. You can almost guarantee that they'll get some production with what we've seen from the prior years. So I would love for the Jets to not move any capital from next year, find a way to get that second or third or fourth round pick that we have this year, incorporate it into a trade and draft up. But wanted to leave you with 2 questions, and I'll let you guys chat. 2 things. Who's worse, Jake? The Zach Wilson truthers or the Aaron Glenn truthers?
They might be the same people, Steve. We're doing some studies on it. There's a similar pattern here where they just bootlick whatever the Jets seem to do. So it was the Wilson truthers because you had to defend the quarterback at all times, and now you got to defend the god awful 3-14 coach at all times.
To me, it's up in the air. But the last one I'll leave you with is we were just talking about odds on the Super Bowl. If you had to put odds on if there will be a new head coach starting in 2027, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking it's probably going to be around like plus 150. Curious what you guys' thoughts are. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll chat soon.
Steve, great call, and that's a great story about Chicago.
That is a great. I mean, yes, my father I talked about is a Bears fan. I think I talked about it on Nick's show or maybe your show. My dad's a Bears fan, and he would say the exact same thing. He's like, we can wear our gear even though they lost. Like they almost had their 4,000-yard passer, first time in history. Like they have a lot to be excited about, and the Jets need to get back to that state. I remember being able to wear my jersey on a Monday and like really feel good about wearing it, and now you really can't. But in terms of that opening line for if the Jets have a coach in 2027 that's not AG, if you're betting that, I guess what would the exact bet be? Is AG the coach in 2027? I think it would come in at minus money. It would be close. It'd be like minus 150 or minus 125, but I think it would be minus money right now.
So you're saying he'd be the favorite would be he would be the coach.
The 2027 coach, just because it's so hard to anticipate all those things to make it the betting favorite that he's not. I feel like too much money would get laid if it was a positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would have to start as a negative that he would. You're right. Yeah, he would be.
There might be a lot of money then coming in on he won't be, because if you're getting plus odds.
That's true. That's true. I guess there's What do you think the line? Because I think it would start out negative. I think he'd have to start out as the favorite for now, at least.
I think it'd be closer to even, if anything.
Even,
I don't know if it'd be a negative line. I would say this. What's the Jets win total at? Right? Because their win total projection last year was 6.5 going into week 1. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's 5.5 this year, right? Mm-hmm. If it's 5.5, and most of us think the Jets are going to win 5 or less, he's not the coach in 2027. So that's got to factor into the odds that they 100%. Would make too in this scenario.
And they just released the strength of schedule, which again, that does not matter in January. It doesn't even matter in August what your strength of schedule looks like, because every team is different. We have like the 12th highest strength of schedule, which is not that bad considering what we are going up against in terms of the divisions that we play in 2026. So having the 12th best strength of schedule, or 12th highest strength of schedule, maybe you're looking at 5.5 win total, which is not going to save AG. I think the floor has to be 8. So yeah, it's going to be tough. But I would say he's the favorite right now to be back in 2027. Not my preferred. I would just think it would have to start out that he's the favorite to come back.
The last time I had like pride after a Jet run ended was the 09 run with Sanchez and Rex in year 1. Because while they lost to the Colts and it hurt, I left feeling so positive about the state of the team. Like, I wasn't even that mad. I was like, you know what? We had the lead against Peyton Manning and the Colts. We almost went to the Super Bowl at 9-7 in the regular season, getting some luck to get into the playoffs in the first place. We had this great run, and the best is yet to come. So I wasn't even like that sad. 2010 killed me. To this day, I refuse to ever watch the highlights of the AFC Championship game. It's too painful. But
yeah.
I just saw this on Twitter. This was the last time I had real excitement after a Jet season ended, and was proud of the run.
Mark Sanchez, USC.
Thomas Jones, University of Virginia.
Tony Richardson.
Hold on.
Jericho Cotchery, NC State.
Boost the volume here so everyone can hear it.
Mark Sanchez, USC.
Thomas Jones, University of Virginia.
Tony Richardson, Auburn. Jericho Cotchery, NC State. Waylon Edwards, Lloyd Carrs, University of Michigan.
Justin Kelly, Purdue University. DeBrooke Shaw Ferguson, University of Virginia. Alan Faneca, LSU.
Nick Mangold, The Ohio State University.
Brandon Moore, Illinois.
Damian Woody, Boston College.
That was a team. That was a team. Oh, you know
100%.
What? We got the defense too. Here we go. This is the win in your in-game against the Bengals. Last game ever at Giant Stadium.
Sean Ellis, Tennessee.
Sheldon Bohart, University of Utah.
Marcus Douglas, Howard University.
Brian Thomas, UAB.
Bart Scott, Southeastern Jungle
Dave Harris, Ottawa Hills. Calvin Pace, Wake Forest.
Darrell Reeves, Pitt.
Jim Leonard, Wisconsin. Kerry Rhodes, Louisville.
Lito Shepard, University of Florida.
And then a year later, they got Cromartie added to that defense, and things were humming, man. Jason
Hopefully,
Taylor.
YouTube doesn't come after you for that AC/DC in the background.
I hope not. I hope not. I think we'll be all right. It was
that was a fun time, dude. And we have a little bit of breaking news, not Jets related, but we have some breaking news here.
Hold on, let me set you up properly. If you're going to give me a little breaking news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Baltimore Ravens have a new head coach in their short history in the NFL. Their fourth, Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator from the Chargers, is now the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
You know what? I heard from my my Baltimore guy, Bobby Trossett, today. Yeah. We were talking. I go, who's going to be the Ravens coach? He goes, I'm hearing it's going to be Minter. And sure enough, Jesse Minter, who was on Harbaugh's staff a couple of years ago, is the replacement for Harbaugh. So we will see. I mean, the Ravens, they keep coaches a while. Brian Billick was there for ever, 99 to 07. Harbaugh obviously was there for 18 years. So Minter's going to get a nice long run here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a solid fit. He's definitely the up and comer. It's funny because they hired, Matt Arujo went to a different team. I was going to say, I thought he just went to the Chargers to coach under him, but it was, he went to Jacksonville to meet up with Campanelli again.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We'll get to more of your calls. Michael's next on the show. Hello, Michael.
Hey guys, what's going on, man?
Michael.
I got no tree, Michael. I got no tree.
Yeah, I was noticing that, and I don't have the prison shirt on today either. So
we're breaking norms.
yes. It's just amazing that first of all, Jake, you have 400 people watching, and like we've been in like just hell since September, and now here it is almost February, and we have what, another 6, 7, 8 months till opening day. It's just amazing. I mean, how much more, can we take? Nobody wants to come here. It's just obvious no one wants to come here. There's too many jobs opening, and I just don't understand why we would think that any decent coordinators want to come here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so sad. Our schedule is so tough next year, and there's no way we're winning more than 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
But just wanted to come on and say hi. And Jake, do you remember a couple of days ago there was this picture of this girl at the Miami game, and you had it on the show?
A picture of a girl at the Miami. Oh, yes, of course.
Well, I read it, and Dylan knows where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I read
She's
an
an
article.
oral professor.
She's just a girl, Michael. She's just a girl.
Okay. But I read an article online.
Mhm.
She happens to be an adult film star.
No, stop it. She's an oral professor.
and just to paraphrase, she makes a comment. I don't understand why a person can't go to a game and root for our favorite college team and get on camera. Really? You don't know why you're on? You don't know why?
She goes to Miami. She's a student.
The guy sitting behind the camera knew exactly what he was doing at the exact moment he put eyes on her, put the camera on her. He knew the reaction he was going to get.
Oh, when I read that article, I said, I couldn't believe it. I said, that's the girl that Jake got on the show. Oh, so funny. But, on a good note from me, it was a pretty good week for my Mets. A couple of real nice signings and trades. So Yankees got Bellinger, so good for them. But I just want to say hi and, great job, Jake. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Michael, thank you very much, but I must play this.
What? Calm your freaky down.
Thank you.
You see that girl on TV at the Miami game? We all knew who it was.
He's like the blonde girl. I'm like, who? I'm like, oh, everyone's favorite oral professor, Bella Danger. One of the all-time greats. What's amazing is when they showed her, Miami immediately scored right after. So Miami would have came back. Carson Beck would have led a game-winning drive if they showed her one more time before that final drive started.
Yeah, it really could have happened. The amount of motivation that you can get from seeing someone like her on TV. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people sat up on their couch at that moment and were like, whoa, is this kind of football game?
It's just hilarious because, the people in the truck were like dying, being like, watch this. We're going to pull a little fast one on here. Anyway, more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is always ready to deliver spot on takes.
I got gas right now.
Hey, put a light on.
Sí, cabrón. I'm just trying to get warm here and have my nice little tea with the best friend chicken cup. Well, we got 8 months. I know what I can do for 8 months. A lot of cooking. And your boy signed Bellinger. Nice deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, hey, that was one smart move. Who's next? Who's next to join you boys? Because you Yankees know how to get them big old checks out and say, come on down. We can sir use you for a couple bucks. Signed, sealed, delivered. That's how you guys work. I know how you guys are. You guys sign a lot of big names. I gotta give you credit. And Aaron Judge, did he get his MVP of the year yet?
Months ago, yes.
Well, I can't.
Spring training's in a month, Beast. Last season's over.
I know, but I'm not gonna take nothing away from a man that that guy can hit baseballs like you and Blue. I mean, he ain't gonna be no Reggie Jackson, but I'll tell you this:
he's better than Reggie Jackson.
You can bet your sorry ass he's gonna be the next Mickey Mantle if he keeps this power drive alive.
Hey, Beast, is it true that you once hit more home runs than Roger Maris did in a single season?
I only hit 44 when I was 17, and I had so much strength that it would I would get under the bat. Like my thing was, if you get me in the inside corner, you're a dead man.
Hey, show us your swing.
My power swing can definitely kill a certain person's power. All you gotta do is watch, stay close, okay? Keep your eye on contact, and look at him dead in the eye and just like, I see ya. See you later, alligator. You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
Thank you, Beast. That was some swing, Dylan.
It looks like me on the tee box sometimes, I'll be honest.
More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. This guy always has his eye on the prize.
I got my eye on you, Jay. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, guys.
David T.
Go Yanks. Jake, I was inferring that you could get a date with Amanda, but you don't need my help. But anyway, as far as the Jets goes, my dad was a smart man. I think what's going to get me through the coming year, he used to talk about assets and liabilities. So you have to look at the big picture. Unfortunately, Woody and Aaron Glenn are liabilities. But there are assets, Banjo and maybe Amstrat and, some of the coaches and some of the wonderful players. And, so I'm turning, I went through a grieving process that Aaron Glenn didn't get canned, but, I'm turning it around. I'm going to do positive, and, that's where I'm at this point.
I like it, David. We got to be positive at some point. The mourning period, the MOURN period of that season is over. We can now look to the rebuilding phase, and hopefully this team turns it around sooner rather than later. Even if you don't want AG to ultimately be the guy for this team, you definitely want to see some sort of success in 2026. I don't think anybody really wants to see another 2 to 3 win season.
Yeah, just in life in general, DT. If you don't think positive and try to elevate, you're just going to bring yourself down.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you, fellas.
David T, always appreciate you.
Let me just say this, David T. You are the absolute man.
I got my eye on you. Check, make me full screen. It's fireball, whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
That's why he's a legend. David T. DT, I also have some breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a busy show.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
According to respected NFL reporter Richard Johnson, also known as Double Dick, Aaron Glenn is considering, quote, stepping away from football. The lack of coordinator interest has been draining, and he's starting to realize that there can be no path to save the Jets. This is backed up by the fact Aaron Glenn was seen boarding a flight earlier today, so he's leaving New Jersey and going back home to Houston. He's done dealing with the New York Jets. Dylan, your thoughts?
You misinformation spreader. No, it's honestly it's actually embarrassing looking at some of the quote tweets. If you got by Dick in the big 2026, man, I don't know what to say, because he says some of the dumbest things. His pinned tweet on his profile is that Patrick Mahomes is going to get traded to the Jets, dated back this previous November, where they're like, if they miss the playoffs, they're going to rebuild with a new quarterback. I'm like, get out of here. So this is just, it's very on par for a guy like Richard Johnson to say this. He gets all of the dirtiest Elon bucks in the world for this Twitter engagement stuff that he does.
I'll tell you what, he might be an asmaniac. I just checked my Twitter notifications, and 42 minutes ago, Dylan, look who followed me on X.
No.
Dick Johnson, Double Dick. He might be watching.
Who knew that Dick was a fan of Jake Asman?
Double Dick watching the show.
2026 off to a raging start for you.
I think he's an excellent reporter.
Excellent reporter.
I hope this is true, though.
It's not true, but I mean, a lot of fans would agree with you. Yeah, for sure. It's
Also,
exhausting. The interest has been draining. The man just came back from Cabo and he gets hit with, he's stepping away from football.
His report yesterday was also sensational, too. The Jets are expected to check in on Bills quarterback Josh Allen this offseason. Allen was eliminated early from the playoffs again this year, and now he might prefer to rebuild with a different team.
Hey, if you want AG gone, the best quarterback killer right now might be Josh Allen. The Real Housewives of Buffalo is quite cinema right now in Northern New York. I mean, this is just the whole Keon Coleman, Brandon Beane versus Sean McDermott with Terry Pagula as the special guest referee. I mean, it's kind of bad in Buffalo right now. But yeah, if you want AG gone, go bring in Josh Allen to throw, have 4 turnovers in the divisional round, and AG will get blamed for it, and we'll thrive.
I love it. Some great reporting here from Dick Johnson, Double Dick.
Reporting.
Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls from one dick to another. I'm just kidding. I like Gary. Although I'm going to bust his balls at the Nets. As bad as the Knicks are, thank God they still can beat the Nets.
Well, I'm still wearing my Nets gear. I'm loyal as they come. I'm still wearing Nets gear.
I'm wearing Jets gear every day, baby. I feel your pain.
Did the Nets win, I assume?
The Nets lost by 50-something.
Oh, no.
The Knicks, who had lost 9 of 11, they had been playing awful. They won by their largest point differential in franchise history last night.
Oh, so they went BTA on the Nets. That's unfortunate.
If you want to bust out of a slump, play the Nets.
The Nets are the get-right team. The Nets and the Jets, they're the get-right team. Let's go.
Imagine rooting for both these teams. Imagine being a fan of both these teams. No. I did want to shout out Aaron Glenn. I get it. He wants to be back in Texas. As soon as I get off the plane, almost anywhere, I want to be back in Texas. I miss Texas as soon as I get off the plane.
He went to Cabo, though. This is apparently coming back from Cabo, according to the guy that took the picture.
Okay. I mean, still, if I'm in
He's
Cabo,
from Houston. He's from Humble, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston.
I know where Humble, Texas is.
No. It's Humble. The H is silent. You know that.
That's what I said. I said Humble, Texas.
I'm just making sure because people.
Okay.
Lesson learned on the radio. I went to Jim in Humble, and it's like New Yorker. You don't know what you're talking about. You Yankee.
Yeah.
I like that guy. You should have that guy on the show. Whoever calls you that Yankee should be on the show.
Yeah. I get called a Yankee like twice a week at work in South Carolina. It's hilarious.
When my wife is mad at me, she calls me that too. Speaking of,
how could your wife ever be mad at you? She's allowed to be disrespectful to the king of the household.
I mean, okay, Yankee disrespectful? Is that disrespectful? I like the way you're thinking. I think it's an insult too. But interesting. We voted today, and so I told my wife who to vote for, but she got nervous because I just told her the candidate to vote for, and she got to the the little voting booth thing, and she thought there was going to be more than one thing to vote for. So she's like, I don't know how to vote. I wouldn't know who to vote for. Like, what other things to vote for? Because a lot of times there's like ballot measures and stuff, but there wasn't. So she was like relieved that she only had one person to vote for. And I told her who to vote for prior to that. So like she got nervous, but it was all for now. I said, baby, there's only one thing to vote for. I wouldn't lead you astray. Just glad she knew who to vote for. She's well taken care of. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, is it Glenn? Is it Woody? Is it the Jets? Just a terrible organization. Why don't you think anyone even wants to talk to them? Is it Glenn? They don't want to work to Glenn, or is it just they don't want to be associated with the Jets organization?
No, I think it's because the coach is on the hot seat. The roster's not great on that side of the ball. And if you're an established guy and you can get a better gig, why would you take the Jet job?
Yeah.
But Jim Leonard's not a DC right now. He's a pass game. He's a
yeah, but he got a raise to be an assistant head coach. They gave him that title. And if you're Jim Leonard and you want to take the jump to be a DC, are you jumping at the first opportunity? You could argue staying with Sean Payton for another year where you know the defense is going to be good at the bare minimum, is a better path forward to get a better job. He might be a candidate for the Jet job in 2027 when they have a new coach.
I mean, if the Jets had a different coach, like let's say they had an established coach, like Brian Flores or something, would they still be turning down this interview?
Off a 3-win season with Woody Johnson, probably.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm
asking. Well, I think Flores is a bad example because he's gonna be the de facto defensive play caller. That's his area of expertise. If they hired, let's say,
Glenn's area of expertise too.
Well, that's the problem. That's my whole point, that we spend so much time talking about this DC search being important. The bottom line is, if we have a head coach who's a defensive-minded coach who had some semblance of success at his last stop to get the job in the first place, even though it wasn't great, his last year wasn't awful. Like it shouldn't matter that much. Like we should be able to Glenn should be able to put anyone there if he's overseeing it, like Saleh did with Ulbrich, and figure it out.
Well, that's why he's in Cabo, because he doesn't have to worry about it. They don't need a serious hire. Maybe they don't think it's as important as we do.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Oh, by the way, I actually think that someone said to ask Glenn what he does well as a head coach. I don't think that's being a dick. I think that's like when we're scouting a fighter, when we're meeting with him. Do you know what the first two questions we ask him are? What do you do well as a fighter? What are the two things you need to improve on most as a fighter?
Yeah,
I want to hear your input. I want to hear what you think you do well and what you need improvement. I don't think it's like I know it could be perceived that way because we all think he sucks as a head coach, but I want to hear what do you think you do well? Like why are you a good head coach?
It's probably like the third or fourth question I would ask AG, especially because of considering the situation. I believe it was Frank, the caller, or maybe it was Steve. I think it was Frank. He said just go up to AG and the first thing you ask him is what do you do well? I would actually want to talk to him about the Senior Bowl first, but I would totally ask him eventually, what do you do well? Because I do think it's important to ask, what do you think you can improve on? Because that is more telling than what he thinks he does well as a head coach.
I think they're both telling. I think both questions, I think it's two halves of a whole. I want to see how you view the sport, right? When I ask a fighter, what do you do well? What do you
Cannoli hates your interview questions.
Well, okay. I want to see how they view the sport. What is your concept? What does good boxing look like to you? That's what I'm interested in.
Hey, what do you think of this report from Double Dick that Glenn's stepping away from football?
If only it were true. If only it were true.
Gator, we need a video for Richard Johnson here. Dick report.
I think a lot of people want this to be true, so they're reacting in a happy manner to this. It's just how do you it does not take any brain cells to understand that Dick is quite fake.
You mean this is not real, that Josh Allen is a target for the Jets?
Check in with the QB killer.
I'm sure we'd love to have him. He's a crybaby. I'd still take him in 2 seconds. Sure, crybaby.
I would see him crying, and then you'd fire AG.
Yeah. Look, he made him cry.
Stop. And you said AG was the one that wanted Arian Smith and not Darren Muji. Darren Muji would get promoted.
I missed on Arian Smith too. I thought he'd be a good gadget guy. I thought he'd be what's the guy's name? I always say Cordarrelle Patterson. Is that how you say
Cordarrelle Patterson? Yeah.
I thought he'd be like him. He'd have a function. He'd be a threat. He didn't do anything. And then the other thing is Joe Douglas. This is why the Falcons are a terrible organization. This is why the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. The Falcons, a miserable franchise, no Super Bowls. You're going to hire Joe Douglas. He had 6 years here. Why would you? I don't even understand. What is the upside? What did he do well?
What didn't he do
traded
well?
Back for Breece Hall. He traded up for Breece Hall. That's what he did well, right?
Sure.
That's his claim to fame.
He has good first-round picks, but the Falcons don't have a first-round pick.
Right. And look,
so you're screwed.
Picks, top
you're screwed.
10 picks, you shouldn't miss. He's got terrible first-round picks. He's got some terrible ones.
Yes.
You shouldn't miss on top 10 picks. There are so many good players in the draft. Just pick one. It's not that hard. It's not like hitting on fifth rounders. The first top 10 pick, which you always had a good pick because the Jets are always terrible. You shouldn't be missing on these. It's not that hard to get a good player.
Yeah,
right?
I think Buffalo Jet fan did the crunching of the numbers comparing Joe Douglas to like the Bills, and the Jets under Joe Douglas had 7 top 15 picks. Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane had like 2, and like they made it work. Like it's actually crazy how many assets he truly just lit on fire with this team.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Sorry, I have another report from Double Dick. Jets have officially been eliminated from playoff contention for the 2026 through 2027 NFL season.
Oh my gosh. You're in a wormhole now.
I think this guy listens to the show. He followed me on Twitter.
Dick, if you're in the chat, expose yourself. Whoa, never mind. Show yourself.
Whoa.
Show yourself. I caught it.
Hold on a second.
I caught it.
I don't want anyone named Double Dick exposing themselves.
I caught it. I said,
calm your freaky down.
That's
interesting
This
comment.
show is we're talking about porn stars. Now we're talking about Double Dick.
No, Michael Levinson is talking about porn stars. Amanda Madison says Gary is secretly Dick McGee.
Oh no.
You're calling me a dick? Is that what she's doing here? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I believe the term is Dick McGee.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Amanda. I see how it's gonna be. It's still better than being a simp. I'd rather be a dick than be a simp. So it is what it is. That's really all. Simps need to be eviscerated. They need to be eradicated and beat up and removed from society. It's really all
truth, Gary. Speak your truth.
Oh, I do. I know. Is that my issue? Do I hold back too much? Do I not?
No. You have the perfect filter for this show.
All right. That's really all I got. That's really it. I got nothing else.
Well, Gary, thank you for the time, and
all right,
enjoy the rest of your evening.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. FPP says Jim Leonhard will be going to the Packers. Have they requested him, or are people just speculating because he coached at Wisconsin and is from the area?
My best friend Kevin is a Packers fan. I've known him for 20 plus years. He says that everything that he sees about Jim Leonhard is total fan folklore on Packers Twitter. They just interviewed Al Harris. Al Harris was a former DB for the Packers, right? We want the ball. We're going to score Matt Hasselbeck in that playoff game. Like that, they're probably not fishing around Jim Leonhard as much as fans want them to be honest. But they've been doing research since before Halfway took the job in anticipation that he was going to get a job. So
let me ask my new Twitter follow, Dick Johnson, what he's hearing about Jim Leonhard.
They're hiring Mike Tomlin as defensive coordinator, according to Dick.
Welcome to Something Says, well, Gary, you're what you eat. Just kidding.
Jeez.
Let's see. We only have 2 gifted memberships. I'm gifting one right now. Let's get some people a chance to win a jersey. Come on, people. Get in here. Gift to your fellow Asmaniac. We want everyone to be a channel member that's watching the show so you could watch the monthly rankings, so you could get all the bonus stuff, get emoji access. What should our next emoji be, by the way? We haven't done a new emoji in a while, so I'd love to have some fresh emojis for the offseason here. 1 gifted membership from yours truly has been sent in. Ladies and gentlemen, the listener that got it is Argent Concepts. Argent Concepts, hell yeah, you're in the raffle for 1.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Herm, today we're playing for a Jets Legends jersey. Jay Reeves wants a Glenn emoji. There already is an Aaron Glenn emoji. Kyle Clifton emoji says Boomtown. What would that look like? Well, we asked the man himself.
Maybe me sticking my head out the window, checking the weather, half inside, half outside, sticking my head out the door.
You look like you're half inside, half outside right now. How do you rule this, Boomtown? This looks like
put this together to mess with the chat.
I was gonna say it looks like a covered deck with a nice inside couch on it, so it's really hard to tell.
And a waterfall in the background. So deal with that, Boomtown.
I like that you're standing right in the waterfall too. I like this.
But you can't even see it's got my name at the bottom, but my huge torso kind of obscures it. So
whose couch is that?
That's our friend who has his own show that may have pirated the Bobby Midnight Network provided me with the graphics. So
Madison Martinez, very interesting.
Jim Leonard, Barry Alvarez, I saw endorsed him for Green Bay defensive coordinator. That's the one thing that I did see about local Wisconsin football that he was kind of talking up Leonard for that job. I don't know if Leonard has come out and said he wanted it. Does Leonard have like a family, like young kids?
That I do not know, to be completely honest with you.
Jersey's kind of good for that. I don't know, like, youth sports, schools, stuff like that. That might be the only advantage. Taxes, the fact that you'd be out of a job in a year is a major drawback.
Yeah.
It's not a shock that we cannot attract good candidates with this guy. And what we think was going to happen. It's just really, really disheartening.
We're just wasting a year, Kyle. It sucks. We just got to get through this year and hope the roster is in a better spot, plus 3 1s for the next guy.
Yeah. And, I think that it will do, our boy AG good to go home for a little bit, decompress, and tackle this job fresh in a couple of weeks, because this is something's got to change here. He's got to come with a fresh perspective. He's got to come with a new attitude towards the media, towards his approach. He's got to talk to not only his mentors, but people that he maybe wouldn't ordinarily talk to see what he could do differently, because the definition of insanity is to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And whatever he was doing last year was not working. And it looked like he was woefully unprepared. It was, for someone who grew up watching and cheering for AG, I was very, very disappointed. And I didn't want that for him, and I definitely don't want it for us, for this community, for Jets fans. I feel like at 16. Taking a slot receiver like Mekhi Levin, that doesn't do it for me, man. Like, either get our receiver in the second round or go all in on Tate at 2. That, because I hate taking slots like in that spot right there. Like, I know that the guy from Seattle kind of went there, and it kind of made sense in that draft. And maybe it makes sense in this draft, but it's really a little bit high to start taking slots. You really want to do that in the back half of the first round, and then in the middle rounds is where you get your slots. And God only knows, like, the last regime liked the big slot. Like, what is our offense going to end up being, right? Is it something where Garrett's going to ultimately be there? Are we going to run a lot of 12? Like, I would love to see a lot more 12 if we can get a true X on the outside, and then in certain situations, when we have to go through receivers, get Garrett into the slot, maybe put AD and our true X on the outside. But we're not there yet. We don't have the personnel, right? Like, we need another tight end. We need another receiver. And we've got to replenish this offensive line, and there's only one draft at a time, unfortunately. So, I appreciate your time, guys.
Great call. I mean, look, my ideal scenario is they get 2 studs with their first round picks, second round, more opportunities to really beef up the roster, just add talent, man, add talent. See some improvement. Like, the job could be attractive a year from now, as bad as we feel right now, is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, 100%. There's ways to make it attractive, even in not necessarily considered a successful 2026 season. I'm with Kyle. I would rather, get a guy at 2 at wide receiver than risk one at 16. Although I wouldn't agree that I would take Lemon, and I would just interchange him and Garrett Wilson as your slots because they can both play on the boundary as well. Mekhi Lemon can play the boundary. Like, he can be not your X, but he could be your Z, and then Garrett could be your slot while AD is your X. But then he said 11 versus 12 personnel. Yeah, you got to do what the Rams do. They can get in 13 personnel and pass it all over you. They can get in 11 personnel and run it all over you. I think that they want to be more of an 11 to 12 personnel team, so 2 tight ends. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a focus. Hopefully they make Jeremy Ruckert the 3rd tight end as their blocker, like their Jackson Hawes type. And then you figure they have their Dalton Kincaid type, and now go find your Dawson Knox type that does a little bit of both for you well. And I'm just using the Bills as the closest example to the Jets, but that's a tight end room that you feel really good about having 3 legitimate, options there. And you can get a tight end 2 in free agency without breaking the bank, right? So there's definitely ways to turn this offense around. And I definitely would like to see a blue chip defensive player at 2 trade up for a red chip wide receiver. It's not necessarily a blue chip. I don't know if Tate, Lemon, and Tyson are considered blue chips. To me, I'd say they're probably the next best thing, which would be a red chip for me. Get a red chip wide receiver inside the top 10 or 12, and I think we're well on our way to at least turning this thing around quicker than slow ships turn slow.
Bino with a super chat. He writes in, Jets hire Trust Me Bro as DC per NFL Insider Hardin Long.
Soon Dixon Yass is going to have Dixon Yass NFL on Twitter, and he's just going to be slapping up excellent reporting.
Hardin Long is the cousin of Double Dick, Richard Johnson.
As if we need more Johnsons around this Jets team.
Like, you know what's amazing? You hit on this earlier. I just went on Twitter. Again, people were tagging me in this thinking it's real. Like,
dude, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable how dumb our society is.
It's so bad, dude. Yeah.
Like my dad's been ball sack sports many times. He's like, I can't believe they did this. I go, oh my God, Dad. No, this didn't happen.
Yep. Don't ever send me any reporting on Facebook, because I promise you I will not read it. I will just laugh in your face. Like, it's not true if it comes from Facebook. And this is where all this stuff starts.
It's unbelievable. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for the wagon? Are we ready for the Chuck wagon? Well, I'll tell you what. If you're not ready, get ready.
Chuck wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck wagon.
I'm sure that every year teams that finish in the top 3 with the worst record, I'm sure there's people who decline for an interview for a coordinator position. This cannot be the first time ever.
The Cleveland Browns, Jesse Minter and Mike McDaniel both turned down the Cleveland Browns in the last 3 days.
Exactly. So it happened this year. So, this is something that is common, but of course, because it's the Jets, easy team to laugh at. So, yeah, it's not pretty. The draft can't get here soon enough, and the combine. I would like to, really look into the combine this year compared to the last few years.
Are you running the 40, Chuck?
Yeah, in about 10 minutes. But yeah, sure, I could do it, but it's going to be a while. I'm sure I could beat Beast Breaker, though. Sorry, Beast.
I don't know. Beast is a real athlete.
Yes, he is. No, actually, yes, he is.
Chuck wagon lying through his teeth.
Beast is a boxer.
You know what time it is? A Beast Breaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
Hey, Beast.
How you doing, Chucky? How you doing, kid?
Not much. Just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're in for a deep freeze. Are we ready for a deep freeze?
Yeah, and snow and ice and sleet and everything else.
Well, you know what? The only thing is to keep me going, since it's gonna be so cold. You know what? Make some chicken, make some sausage, and I might even throw in some sloppy joes. You haven't had sloppy. When was the last time you had some sloppy joes?
Probably about 2 months ago. It's been a while.
Not too bad. But I am also going to sponsor this year, since if I'm going to fry some good chicken. You ever try this kind of stuff?
Not that exact hot sauce, but yes, I'd like to put hot sauce on my food.
This is the big fella special right here. This will light your ass on fire. But I'm always saying this once. Only use a dab. Just a dab. For one reason. If you put too much on that chicken, you're gonna be in the toilet with a fire extinguisher and a bidet, and waiting to go.
Have you ever used a
stringing the cheese?
I think we covered a lot of ground there with Beast.
I hope the answer to your question that you're about to ask, Chuck Wagon, is no. I don't think a bidet could get into all those crevices.
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
Hey, Beast, have you used a bidet before?
No, but unfortunately, I've seen it before in The Sopranos when they went to Italy. When Tony, Paulie, Suvio, they all got a chance to meet, Furio. You know who I'm talking about, Furio. And I'll tell you this, I almost kind of look like Furio with the long hair. Feel sexy, vibrant, muscled. But unfortunately, I don't have that. If I had that super six-pack strength, I would have been like, yeah, okay, come here. Come here.
Well said, Beast. Continue your call, Chuck Wagon.
He really scares the shit out of me sometimes,
Does he?
Yeah. A little scary. Dylan, I think what you said earlier is the same how I'm thinking. For the first pick, number 2, go with best defensive player. Do you want them to trade back with that number 2 pick? Do you want them to stick and pick?
It would it's so hard. Yes, in an ideal world, I would like them to trade back, but so many things would need to go perfectly for that to happen. One, they would have to know somebody's interested in Ty Simpson. I don't think people are going to be trading up for an edge rusher or a wide receiver. I don't necessarily think that that's the trade up position in this type of draft. So you would have to hope somebody loves Ty Simpson, and then you would probably have to drum up fake interest in Ty Simpson to make it look like you're going to take him at 2 to get somebody to trade up for you. Like if they could convince Cleveland at 6 that they like Ty Simpson and the Browns want Ty Simpson, maybe you could do it. So in an ideal world, I would love to trade back, especially in this type of draft, and pick at like 6 and 13, right? I would love to do that and like trade up from 16, but I just don't think it's actually going to be possible this year.
Is Cleveland's second first-round pick number 20?
It is 20-something because it was associated with the Jaguars, so it would be a wild card pick. I just don't remember. It's in the 20s, though.
Okay. Because the only 2 teams I can think of that would maybe have the assets to trade up is the
24.
Rams and 24. Yeah, Rams and Cleveland are the only 2 teams I can think of.
If the Rams gave us 13 and a 2027 1, I would move back to 13 and pick at 13 and 16 and then try to find a way to get up from 16 into the top 10 and still get one of the edge rushers like Bailey or Bain.
You wouldn't be asking for both of the Rams first round picks and a 27 first rounder? They're so used to giving away first round picks
probably,
for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's fair. I would start the trade talks with the one from each and then add on maybe a second or third from this year instead of trying to take all their first round picks. That would just be me, but then I'm also like hedging my bet for next year as well. And then we have 4 first round picks in the first round, and then you have 12.5% of the entire first round draft picks. So what was that, 2000? Was that the year that we had the 4 first round picks? And we got Chad and all those guys. I think Anthony Becht was one of them too. So I would try to do something like that. But if they said, no, we'll give you 13 and whatever it is, it might end up being 32, honestly. Like, you would have to consider it. So, yeah, you could convince me either way, but I would like to take the 27 first-round pick.
Are you going with Jake to Mobile?
Yeah, Jake's going with me to Mobile.
Okay. Oh, he's going with you, not the other way around. Oh, I'm sorry,
I had to
Dylan.
phrase it. No, I had to phrase it like that because
sorry.
you phrased it like that. It's cool. We're going separately together.
You want to come, Chuck Wagon?
Unfortunately, I got things here to do for the family and all that.
No, you don't.
Couldn't make the commit. Yes,
he's got to cook, man. Somebody's got to
come
do the
on.
cooking.
But that too.
Yes, we will both be in Mobile next week. My 5th year down there. Jake's first, so we're popping Jake's cherry. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Calm your freaky down.
Chuck Wagon, baby. You're unbelievable.
I try.
Calm your freaky down.
Thank you, Mr. Wagon.
Oh, I appreciate you, Chuck Wagon.
Big fella says, who do you think you are? I am.
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
Thank you very much.
It doesn't
Big
count.
fella.
He didn't do the 2 thumbs. Who do you think you are? I am. You got to do it, man. You got to have conviction in it, beast.
Amanda Madison writes in, popping Jake's cherry is so intimate.
Calm your freaky down.
Jeez. We got some freaks in the chat.
Calm your freaky down.
We're too close to the weekend. Everybody starts getting a little antsy.
Unbelievable. One of the freaks is on the line. Amanda Madison is next. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, guys. Hi, Dylan.
How are you?
Good. I have a friend that wanted to call in.
Oh, what is this friend's name?
This is Theo.
Theo. Oh, my boss's dog, his name is Theo, and I love that name for a dog. Hello, Theo.
Is his actual name Theodore, but he goes by Theo for short?
Correct. But I call him Papa McGee or
Okay.
Mr. Handsome. Like, those are my 2 go-to nicknames for him.
I can see it.
And similar to the one Jake used Chloe for likes, I'm using Theo to,
You have another
solidify
dog?
my ranking in Asmaniac Madness.
You have another dog named Chloe?
No, Jake does, though.
Oh, Jake has a dog. I had no idea Jake was a dog guy.
Family dog.
I
Yeah.
got you. I was gonna say Jake doesn't have a dog in that apartment. There's no way.
I'm just naturally a dog. Woof, woof.
Whoa.
Bark, bark. But I'm also home right now in the 516. So shout out to all the Long Island Jets fans. House sitting, dog sitting, taking care of the family dog myself. I just wanted to call in. David T kind of inspired me. Jake, I've been working up the courage to ask you for a while, but I was wondering if like maybe we could go on a date together. I know I'm not that pretty and I don't have that much to offer as a woman, but I was hoping you could see past all those things.
I can't hear you. David T's music is playing.
Sigh. I guess back to the drawing board.
Only if you bring Theo.
Only if you bring Chloe.
Oh, a double date.
Ooh. The double bark date.
Are there
Woof,
dog
woof.
parks near you guys? Dog parks you can meet up at? Is that a thing in New York?
There's like Eisenhower Park near me. If anyone is familiar, I'm pretty sure they have a dog park there. And then there's like this park in Wantagh, which is a bit further, but also fabulous. I also just wanted to say I really appreciated how badly the Knicks destroyed the Nets. Felt like instant karma to Gary and was well deserved based on how sexist he was yesterday. I tried to call in and the Lurs Wi-Fi wouldn't allow me to defend my half of the population, but I just want him to know I heard him and I'm out to get him.
Would you consider Gary your arch nemesis?
If I yes, I guess like if I were to have one, it would be him.
It's not a bad enemy to have.
Yeah. But I feel like we might be able to like get Gary to come around. I feel like it would require an in-person meeting though to see what he's actually like and how much of this is a bit versus how much of it is like genuine delusion.
Would you wrestle Gary at WrestleMania? Dana wants to know.
I wouldn't want to embarrass him, so probably not.
Leon says Gary versus Amanda. Round 1 has Maniac Madness.
If Gary's ready to lose, let's do it, baby.
You might get rocked in that matchup. That'd be tough.
I don't appreciate your support of Gary. Are you
I'm
telling me you agree with
I'm just
him?
being real. Gary was in the Final Four last year.
Gary gets votes.
He is way more interesting than me, inherently.
He'll tell you it too.
we know women don't have much to offer to society, do we?
No.
Yeah, you're very unruly.
Unruly. I love that word.
No
if
wonder.
you guys need to be ruled. Like, are you implying that women need to be ruled by men? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't think that we should have the right to vote. So I assume that he also, thinks that we don't have the right to have like a say on anything. But I bet Gary's wife low-key runs the household. Like, what does Gary do all day?
Cleaner. She definitely runs the vacuum cleaner. We know that.
Someone let me know what Gary does well.
He hangs a crooked picture frame.
I think Gary's biggest inspiration is Aaron Glenn and Woody Johnson. Also Dick McGee. What a crazy coincidence. What if it's Woody spreading all these like allegations and stuff? And he's low
mad
key.
that AG was in Cabo and he's like, I'm gonna go full Dick NFL and say he's considering stepping away.
Do you believe Dick Johnson's reporting here that Aaron Glenn's stepping away from football?
I think it's wishful thinking. It would be a dream. It would be like waking up from a bad nightmare if that was the case. He would be doing everyone a favor. And I just don't think he has the balls to actually execute. Just like this past season, he wasn't able to do much. So I think
you're not confident in the Jets having a turnaround under Aaron Glenn.
No, we're tanking for Arch, marching for Arch.
Oh,
I think we'll have another at most like maybe 3-4 game, maybe 5 game season, depending on how well they like draft and like pick up players and in free agency. But in all likelihood, I have zero faith in this guy and just foresee another terrible season. Think we'll get a really high draft pick, maybe even number 1. We'll secure our boy Arch and then bring in Tomlin or McDermott or other fantastic head coaches that get released. And hopefully Woody isn't dumb enough to let them slip through the Jets' fingers. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in this guy. Like, I think all the team owners, they like own the teams more as like a flex, like, I own an organization, but I don't think they actually care that much about like the sport or know that much to make like valuable contributions. So it really comes down to hiring the right people. And we know Woody's not good at that.
Nope. We need Theo on the staff.
Theo's
He's going to be the director of common sense.
Look how depressed
Sorry,
Theo
Jay.
is that AG's coming back. Have you ever seen a more forlorn dog in your life?
Yeah, that's sad. Look what we're doing to this poor dog.
Come on, Woody.
Turn it around.
For the dog. Woof, woof.
Ladies and gentlemen, quite the call from Amanda Madison.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
We know Woody gives great hugs.
The question is, will you find out if Amanda gives good hugs?
The question is, will I meet Theo?
You didn't answer her question.
I was playing David T music. I couldn't hear what the question was.
She was trying to woo you. She was trying to court you.
Whoa. Hold
She
on
was.
now.
She
No one could be wooing anyone right now. This is a family show.
Calm your freaky down.
All right. It's bad enough that you were talking about exposing a Dick Johnson before.
Lives aren't my friend all the time when I just shoot from the hip.
Calm your freaky down.
All right, let's get back on track here. Home stretch for the show. If you want it on the raffle, we only have 3 gifted memberships. We did get a big super chat earlier, though. We are giving away a Jets jersey here. Namath, Klecko, Martin, Krebet, Revis, Mangold, and Keyshawn are your choices. Reminder, the show is always available in podcast form. Check it out on either Apple or Spotify if you miss it live. Let's get to our guy, Lou B., who's on the line. Hello, Lou. What story are you going to say this week that's going to be wildly inappropriate?
We just had a dog on. I want to
We
hear.
can start off with that. Number one, I was at the Knicks game last night. That was great. I was hoping to see
Belt
it.
to ass, Lou B. BTA.
Yeah, that was crazy. Number two, I want to be on the 69 team. Let me tell you why. Number one, I know every inch of Long Island, Jake. There's not a street you could say. I performed 69 in Long Island dozens of times, obviously. I own a black van.
What?
Calm your freaky down.
I own a black van for abductions. I know what Starbucks that Tomlin goes to. I need to be I just wanted to be considered for the 69 team. You know I'm
Look, we got Tomlinson. He ain't getting out of here. Get comfortable, pal, because as soon as Woody wakes up, he's going to make you a rich man.
I'll tell you what. Lou, I know you. You have great connections with everyone. You're a charmer. I will personally endorse you for the
Please,
69 team with Castro, Neil. We got a great crew we're forming there.
Yeah, so that's number one. But I don't think Tomlin's coming back right now. He has a little bit of drama he's dealing with, and hopefully by next year he clears up that drama and he becomes a coach. But I think right now the only salvation is Woody, AG, and the GM get on a plane and go and fly to Jim. And if they can't get it done with Jim with a big check in person, just like the Maras did, they got on a train, I believe, and went down to Baltimore. They can't get it done, go pick up Wink Mondale on the way home, because that's going to be let's just get him started, because that's who we're going to end up with anyway. So get it done with Jim. Go in person. Don't wait for all these other teams to take him away. Go get him in person. If not, pick up Wink and let's get started, because that's what it's going to be.
I do have some positive news about Jim Leonard real quick. This is pertaining to the Cowboys and their ability to interview with Jim Leonard, because the Cowboys interviewed him once already. Even if the Broncos win, they can have him back for a second interview. So the Jets, the same thing would apply. They already had their first interview with Jim. So even if the Broncos win and move to the Super Bowl, they don't have to wait until after the Super Bowl to have that second interview with Jim. So that is another thing that could be a positive. I was saying maybe they wait it out and see if Denver wins the Super Bowl to keep pursuing Jim Leonard and let all the other people fill up. But the fact that they, and obviously the Cowboys, can interview him a second time as early as next week, I think that could expedite this process as well, if they circle him as their number one guy, which I would hope he is.
So some news. I think the Cowboys signed to DC. I saw a post.
Christian Parker. They hired Christian Parker today.
So
yeah. So this tweet is irrelevant. Thank you. This tweet is completely
so now
irrelevant.
we have one less monster out
Yep.
of the way. But San
Yep.
Fran needs you guys know who needs a DC, but that's one less monster out of the way.
Yep.
Maybe Jim doesn't have those ideas, but come on, bring Wayne Cabret on that plane. Bring some Jets on that. Go get this guy. Just go land him. That's how, if AG his job, that's the way to do it. If not, he can't worry about the guy taking his job. Someone's going to take his job next year if he doesn't win. So that's all I had to say. I just think it's time to either be on the 69 team or get on the private plane, wheels up, and go get Jim Leonard. Don't come back without someone. If not, pick up Wink on the way home. That's
Is
it,
your
guys.
performer name on Long Island Big Lube?
Something like
God.
that.
God.
Calm your freaky down.
If not,
I'll
just
say-
send Beast. Send Beast to Jim. He won't have a choice.
Oh gosh, yeah. Jim's coming back in a body bag.
We got to do something. We can't just sit here. I feel like, tell me what to do. Tell me where to go. I'll do anything right now. We cannot just sit here. Jake, do something. Get in touch with this guy.
Jake,
Call
do
him.
something.
They just
Call
call
him
him Jim
Jet
Leonard.
friends. Get him on the phone. Tell him to start harassing Jim. He would be happy here. We would support him. We would love him here. This is where he belongs.
What we could do is we could buy a plane to fly over Denver during the football game on Sunday that says Jim Leonard, come to New York. And that's what we got to do. We got to use planes to our advantage. We use them to get guys out, got to use them to get guys in. Every billboard on Jim's way home from Mile High Stadium needs to be a Jet reference of him making a big hit or an interception or a huge play for the Jets, and just remind him of what it was like when he was here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's banner planes. They're very affordable, actually. I'll finance one of those right away.
Love it.
We might need to finance them for next year for like our Tomlin campaign. We got the 69 team has got to start fundraising for these things.
Yeah, so I want to get a mobile billboard truck and park it out the Starbucks by the Starbucks that Tomlin goes to. I'm all about that. I have them ready, Jake. Don't worry about that.
Hell yeah.
I am qualified to be on Team 69 in many different ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luby.
Look, we got Tomlinson. He ain't getting out of here. Get comfortable, pal, because as soon as Woody wakes up, he's going to make you a rich man.
For those who didn't hear Lou's call last Thursday, it was one of the all-time great calls where he told a story about something that happened during our Tampa trip last year.
2
Dylan
weeks in a
getting in.
row.
Look at you. Some might say Luby is overqualified.
They might. Who knows? I mean, I got nothing. Lou comes in here and he just always surprises me. I appreciate him so much.
Spencer, I don't think I got to your super chat, so I apologize. I wasn't just ignoring it because you're annoying. I do appreciate it. You're in the raffle for 2. I could see it now after week 15 next year. For the first time in 15 plus years, the New York Jets and Aaron Glenn have clinched a playoff berth. LFG Jets. And what planet would they be clinched by week 15? What's their record if they clinched a playoff spot in week 15? What are they, 13-1 at that point?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't necessarily have to clinch the division, but if they clinched a playoff spot, yeah, they would have to have 10 plus wins by week 15. So, hey, whatever you're smoking, Spencer Green, pass it along because we need that over here.
JD says 69th better served bothering Leonard than Tomlin. I don't think the Jets are like it's for Jim Leonard in particular. I don't know if it's like Packers versus Jets. I think it's stay in Denver for another year and wait for a better opportunity a year from now, or take the Jet job if offered. Like that's is staying in Denver as the assistant head coach, pass game coordinator for one more year. Is that a better gig than being the DC on Aaron Glenn's staff when you could be one and done with him?
Yep, and I would also say the Giants would be my other concern. If the Giants under Harbaugh hire a different DC and the Packers hire, let's say, Al Harris and, Durante Jones gets hired somewhere else, then then it helps the Jets' chances, of course. So I'm not going to say it's a 0% chance for Jim Leonard to come here, but I'm going to keep hoping that it's Jim because I definitely don't want it to be Wink.
I just saw this great tweet from your old co-host. I want your unfiltered initial reaction because this is a very powerful statement.
This is Naughton
from Glenn Naughton. Glenn, he tweeted the following: interesting, the Jets have yet to part ways with Charles London. Could he be the guy they lean on to develop whichever quarterback they acquire this offseason?
Oh man, no, I hope not. I disagree with you, Glenn. I hope they don't lean on him. Maybe he's just saying this because he doesn't agree either, and he's been asked a bunch of times. But I would hope that he's not inquiring for the sake that he believes Charles London is the guy, because there's plenty of examples that he's not the guy.
Charles London, quarterback guru.
Is Elon going to Twitter limit you the amount of times that you're allowed to use the words Charles or London in a tweet? Do you think that'll ever happen?
Charles London.
It's truly amazing how and I think the leaks, not having leaks, is a great thing for this organization. Please leak out that you're not retaining this guy. Just tell somebody that, okay, he's not gone yet, but he will be gone by the time we get through our process. Let Connor Hughes tell us that instead of Wink Martindale is the favorite and he's the only one, showing his ass to work for the Jets. Golly.
Dave Brigham wants to know, is Glenn Naughton alive?
Yeah, Glenn's alive and well, hopefully, in the UK. Yeah.
Glenn Naughton, a UK man. I had to watch that Denver Jet debacle in person this year. Godspeed.
Oh, yeah. Every time they go over to London, he likes to go. I think he got on TV, too, him and his son. So shout out to him for that. They put him on the camera on CBS. They were front row or something.
Shout out to Glenn. Good dude.
Yep.
Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Again, jersey raffle coming up. Get your shirts. March for Arch at jakeasman.com. Our next caller is a man who's got a beard that is so good it was voted best beard in the Azzy Award.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the Jets. He's one handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hey guys.
Papa, look at that thing.
Hey, DT, have you done any linemen yet or no?
No, not offensive lineman. I just started the edge rushers. I got through David Bailey, and now I want to do Bain, Reese, and Keldrick Falk. I'm a little not standoffish about the offensive linemen, but I don't like watching interior offensive linemen a ton. I just like watching tackles, and we don't need tackles. So after the Senior Bowl, when I take all my notes on who does well in the one-on-one periods for O-line, D-line, I'll start going back and looking at some of the interior offensive linemen in this class. Why? Do you have somebody specific in mind?
Well, I mean, if you look at this draft, it seems like there's more depth at wide receiver and linebacker. So I'm kind of leaning towards with the 2 pick, getting that defensive end that can put pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But for 16, and this is where this was just a thought. I don't know. It just popped into my head. But the kid out of Penn State, the guard.
Yes. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I'm not going to butcher it.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't try.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
You know how I had trouble. You know that. But depending on what happens in the free agency, right, with AVT and Simpson, because I think everybody, it's not as much as the O-line as the defensive line or wide receivers. But if you don't have an offensive line, you ain't doing nothing. And if you lose, like even for depth, one of those guys goes down, it could change real quickly,
Yep.
So I don't know. Because every report I read, he grades out pretty well in the PFF, and they say in the run block, he's a good pass blocker, but they said run blocker, he's a road grader,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a first-round pick at the end of the day, just because he looks like he is the top interior offensive lineman on their board and most probably consensus boards. But if you want to swing at 44, Emmanuel Pregnon, the guy from Oregon, the only reason I've watched him is because of Dante Moore. He played left guard for them, but he also moved into right guard in a pinch, and then he played a little bit of tackle for them when they suffered some injuries. He's really the only guy I can think of in a range that I like to select a guard, because I don't want to take one at 16, which I feel like might be the start of the Penn State guards range, right? That's probably like his ceiling is 16, and then it goes into like 24, 25, 26, right? With some of those playoff teams that want to bolster up their offensive line. But philosophically, I'm totally with you. Keep replenishing your offensive line. Use your free agent dollars. Even if they signed John Simpson and AVT both back and they played it out, however, still go get a 4th or 5th round guard and supplement and just have that constant churning out of talent, because you can never go wrong with the offensive line. So I like it. I haven't studied enough of the Penn State guard to just be honest with you.
Well, and me personally, I like tackles and even center in the first round. My thought was you could always grab a guard in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, but I even want to draft a center too, whether it's 4th or 5th round, But there was something else I was going to say. Well, can't remember. So
is it true the chat says you kicked ass in fantasy this year? Is that true?
You're looking at champion, man.
We love it.
Number 1.
I said you kick ass in general, so I'm not surprised you kick ass in fantasy.
First year joining it. They're gonna be gunning for me next year, I guess.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
That's it.
Or if you ain't got no haters, you ain't Papa.
I hope everybody loves me, but I don't know. Maybe the call I did yesterday on Josh Allen pissed everybody off. So.
Oh no. You said something mean about Joshy boy? Allen's
No,
beloved?
I actually stuck up. I stuck up for him.
Oh, okay. It's hard to argue his talent. He is a bit of a crybaby, but it is hard to argue his talent.
Hey, I disagree with Gary. If a man cries sometimes, it's not a bad thing, So
I'm with you.
that's it, Jake.
What if I don't want to get rid of you, Papa? What if I just like leaving you up there and looking at your beard?
I'll stay here.
All right.
I'll stay.
I'll stay in case you want to come back to me.
No. Dylan and I are just gonna do the show, and we'll just stay full screen on you.
Hello.
DT, who are we taking at pick 2?
I think it's got to be Ruben Bain, David Bailey, or Arvell Reese in that order. Carnell Tate would be 4 for me, and then Mekhi Lemon would be 5.
It would be extremely painful for you.
What's that, Papa? You have something to add?
I like Bailey.
Yeah. It comes with a front change. Like you're probably gonna have to switch to a 3-4. So you're getting larger bodies as your 3 down linemen, right? Like Jawan Briggs would probably be your nose tackle or your D end, really. And then you would have another large body. I know obviously Ruben Bain wouldn't be the pick, but like somebody of that size, like 280 plus, it would be a tough change to make David Bailey and Will McDonald work, in my opinion. And you might get run all over, but you can't deny his bend and his flex. His first step explosiveness is so fun with David Bailey. I'm so excited to get to watch him and Bain next week now. I hope they put him on separate teams too, so we can just see them destroying all day long at practice.
And you know what, Jake, you started playing that Bain stuff, and I'm not a Batman guy, but as soon as I found out that Tom Hardy played Bain, I'm a big Tom Hardy fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to watch it. I went on YouTube and saw some clips. So he seems pretty cool. So I'll check him out.
He played Bane really well. That was my first exposure to Tom Hardy. And then I believe he played Venom, and I watched that one as well. So, yeah, he's got some cool roles.
Hey, Papa.
Well, Peaky Blinders, if you haven't seen that, he's awesome in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I have to get on Peaky Blinders 100%.
Yep.
Papa, repeat after me. I am Gotham's Reckoning.
I am what?
I am Gotham's Reckoning.
I am Gotham's Reckoning.
It would be extremely painful for you.
You got to watch Dark Knight. Rises,
Yeah,
Papa
it's
Jen.
the
Come on.
best. It's the best. Watching the young Bane. I'm not going to spoil it, but watching young Bane and the whole backstory of him, it's so much fun.
Comments, questions, super chats. Truly the last chance to get in the jersey raffle. We only have 15 people, or 15 raffle tickets, I should say, in this one. So there's never been a better chance to try and win a raffle prize on the show. You'll also be entered in the weekly raffle when you do. DT, I asked you about pick 2. Pick 16. What's your dream scenario? I'll ask you this a ton from now until the actual draft, but you gave your options at 2. Give us some options at 16 before we get to this raffle.
Yeah, well, 16, I know Brugler, when we broke down his mock last week, he had Mekhi Lemon, and I know he was the 5th option at number 2. I would take him at 2, obviously, but he would be the first option at 16. So I like Lemon there. I like Keldrick Falk, if he were to make it there, the edge rusher from Auburn, who's like 6'6", 288 pounds, just super long. Although a lot of people are going to talk about him the way that they talked about Shamar Stewart, and I understand that turns people off a lot. Not a ton of production from Falk, but I like him at 16. You can convince me with Ty Simpson and Sonny Styles, even though I personally wouldn't go that route, but you can convince me that those guys could be the pick at 16. And then I guess somebody that would be, considered a reach at a position of need, I would say Denzel Boston, the wide receiver from Washington, would be the pick. I think he's a slight bit of a reach, like maybe early 20s for him. But if you're going to pick him at 20, you pick him at 16 anyway. So I'm still sticking with the edge wide receiver theme. Go get your premium players at premium positions with your premium picks, and that's edge and wide receiver. You could, dude, if Jamal McCoy, the cornerback from Tennessee, is still there at 16, you could convince me you could take a corner. I don't necessarily love it, but as long as it's a premium position, I feel like I could be talked into it.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, who's ready to spin the wheel of champions? First, we say hello to our master of ceremony.
Well, ladies Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Fink. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the grand jury. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to spin the 2026 Wheel of Champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Good evening, grand jury.
Oh boy. Yeah, if we were the grand jury, we'd be just fine.
Man, this is the lightest the raffle wheel has looked like in a long time. Dylan,
I thought it was the first wheel from before.
You're supposed to bring in channel memberships. Yeah.
You know, whoever it was that made that backhanded remark about you asking for super chats, it created some bad juju on the pod. It's not.
Yeah,
me.
he won. He won, that guy.
Yep.
He won.
He did.
That bastard. Ladies and gentlemen, someone will win, though. And if you win, you had to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address, the size you want the jersey, and most importantly, the player you want your Jets jersey and of the legends that we've mentioned. Here we go. One spin to determine the winner. Good luck to everyone. Oh, hold on. At the buzzer here, do we have memberships flying off shelves? Gypsy Moonchild gifted a membership. A Black Gypsy special, as we know. Gypsy Moonchild, I see you. I just put you in. You are in. Also, PBM says he gifted a membership, but it's not coming up. Do you see a PBM membership anywhere?
No, I do not see PBM. A little bit surprised, Mike. I don't know if you're lying to get on the raffle wheel or something, but I do not see PBM in the backstage.
I don't see it.
No.
Mike, if it loads after the fact, I'll put you in for the daily raffle tomorrow. Oh, it came up.
I was gonna say we could take Mike at his word, but yeah, I mean, we can't just throw you in the raffle.
No, I have a screenshot of it. It gifted.
Huh. I blame StreamYard.
Yeah, it didn't come up green though. There was like I think it's a YouTube thing because it didn't come up in the YouTube chat. Not even a StreamYard thing.
Yeah, people are saying it went to Dilly Bop 28.
Well, Dilly Bop received it. I have to put PBM in. Mike, you are in.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. We're up to 17 now. All right. And did anyone else get one? I don't want to spin the wheel unless everyone's accounted for. But
yeah, that's unfortunate.
All right. We're spinning the wheel. Here we go. Good luck to everyone. But only one can win. And your winner is.
Watch Mike win.
Be hilarious. Kaz 8242 is your winner. Kaz, this is for you.
Fuck you, Jake Asman.
Hey, that's not nice. Aaron Glenn. Kaz, congratulations. Email me, name, address, player you want, size you want it in. We'll get that jersey ordered for you this week. DT, final thoughts, plug your channel, and let's go to Mobile next week, baby.
Hell yeah. Last time on the channel before Mobile. You can check my channel out at Dylan Tereman, just as you see it down on the bottom. We are steadily approaching 1,500 subs, so we're well on our road to 2K. I appreciate everybody for already subscribing. We just put out a video today talking about the added talent, including one Ruben Bain Jr. to the Senior Bowl roster. I think that's a huge thing because normally championship level players don't necessarily play in these all-star circuits. So glad we'll see Miami there. You can check out that video. Plus, BJF and I earlier this week fixing the New York Jets. We did the impossible and we absolutely fixed them. We made them Spencer Green's dream of clinching the playoffs in 2026. So you can check that one out as well. We'll be going live as much as possible. Next week's going to be a flurry of things. So content out the wazoo coming from my channel, Jake's channel. I'm sure it's going to be a ton of fun.
Dylan, see you in Alabama next week.
Yes, sir. Driving through the ice, baby. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, DT and I live from the Senior Bowl next week. It will be absolutely glorious. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel before you get out of here if you haven't done so already. I leave you all with a short clip. Sit back, enjoy it, and think about all the good times that we have on the show because this show is all we have when the Jets continue to let us down. Jets, 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 Jets.
It's the brand new song, Power of Dog.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.